Thank you, Mr. President and members of council. We also have some very distinguished guests here today, another part of the great history of Los Angeles and Hollywood and television. We have some very special people here who were involved in the shows that make up the great Highway Patrol. We have Cary Crawford, the son of the late great Academy Award film actor Broderick Crawford. We have Gary Goltz, who's been a promoter of the revival of the Highway Patrol show and all the work that is done with his 58 Buick that when he gets pulled over by the Highway Patrol, they really like to check his car out. Herb Strock, who was the first producer for Highway Patrol and also, interesting enough, the first producer of Jack Webb's Dragnet, where that film right here at Los Angeles City Hall, where that great scene when Jack Webb walks out of the building to the west steps of Spring Street and punches out a Camel cigarette and said, "This is the city, Los Angeles, California." And those who worked with Jack and also on Highway Patrol, Bill Boyett, who also is a Dorsey High graduate and a great member of the community. But here's the very special one, Art Gilmore, who for many years was an announcer, famous announcer, but also had that famous line that I will ask you to read in just a moment. They're here today to get together to help promote safety, to help promote the awareness. And if you do remember, and I know a lot of us may not totally remember, but I sure remember Highway Patrol, they had traffic safety messages every time at the end of the show. And I know in the back of the chambers this morning we have some of our great Los Angeles police officers who are traffic officers. Traffic safety is so important, and this helps promote all of us because we all want to get home safe. So on behalf of, yeah, that's right, exactly, we will, Gary. I just wanted to, on behalf of the council, salute all of you for your work, and I'm going to ask Gary Goltz to say first a few words, who's kind of put this group together. Gary Goltz.
Thank you, Tom. I'm an obsessed fan of television, grew up on the East Coast, and always wanted to come to California, and I think that's probably what myself and Tom LaBonge have in common. We both love Los Angeles, and I know those television images back in the 50s on Highway Patrol and other shows that were filmed on location were very addicting to a young mind, and now I live out here. I'm in business, but I never forgot my first love of the old TV show. Kelly Crawford and I drove the 55 Buick across Route 66 last year to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the route and also to acknowledge the CHP and all that they do to protect the highways in the state. Let's not forget that's what the show is really about. And on behalf of the 1199 Foundation of the Highway Patrol of California, I'm really happy to be here this morning. And I'll just give you one safety announcement. Since Tom brought them out, Broderick at every end of the episode would always come on and remind people to leave your blood at the Red Cross, not on the highway. Or the clowns at the circus are real funny, but out on the highway they're murder. And there were 10 of them. And if you have all day, I'd say all 10 of them. But I know we want to get on with the program, so I'll turn it over to
Kelly Crawford. His dad also was an Academy Award-winning actor who did it in All the King's Men, which is a classic 1949 movie where he played Huey Long at quite colorful Louisiana governor. Kelly.
I want to thank the City Council for this great honor, but I don't deserve to be here. It was my father's work that you're recognizing, and if I can keep the legend alive and just keep his memory alive and what he did for law enforcement and the art of film, I'm very grateful, and especially thanks to Tom.
You betcha. Herb just retired from film production. Had in your district, Eric Garcetti, a little office by Technicolor. Say hello, and you're the first. Tell us a little about Jack Webb.
Well, I'll never forget coming down to City Hall and doing that pilot. It was over a holiday, and we shot upstairs, and then Jack carried the bomb downstairs and tripped on the front steps. It was quite a shot, and I'll never forget it. I haven't been back here since, but it's really an impressive chamber, and I want to thank you and the chamber for this honor.
You betcha. Thank you. Let me get again, a local boy made good from Dorsey High, a great actor for both Highway Patrol and Adam 12.
I just want to say that I feel an affinity toward law enforcement because I worked First with Jack Webb on Dragnet, several of those. Then with Brad Crawford on Highway Patrol. And then for 7 years for Jack Webb on Adam 12, where I was Sergeant McDonald. And so I feel that I know a little about law enforcement, and I try to behave.
Good. All right, good. Now, also, lastly, is the beauty of the voice of Art Gilmore. When you realize how someone can articulate a message without, you got a pretty face too, Art, but your voice is what's so pretty. 90 years old, 90 years young. Art Gilmore.
Thank you. Thank you. You might see Highway Patrol, but you'll never see me, because I come on whenever the laws of any state are broken. A duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the militia, the state troopers, or the Highway Patrol. Anyway, if you heard that, you probably turned it off real fast.
No.
Speaking of Dragnet, Herb Strock directed one of the first, if not the first, Dragnet, and I happened to be in there playing the part of Captain Didion. If any of you police know Captain Didion, he was a great guy. I came down here, had lunch with him. So I have been around the horn a few times, but don't look for me. Look for Bill Boyett. He's probably done 100. I did only 156.
All right. Thank you all. We have certificates of recognition and members of council in our great full house here at the Chambers. Please recognize these great Angelinos for their work in the television business. Thank you, Mr. President. We're going to go back there.
Thank you, Mr. LaBonge. Chair recognizes Mr. Ridley Thomas for a presentation.